Hello and welcome to New Filmmakers Los Angeles in partnership with Movie Maker magazine. My name is Danny DeLillo. We're here at the South Park Center. I'm delighted to join the wonderful Josephine with her movie Wabi Sabi. Let's take a look at the clip.
The 3 red flags to know if a white guy has an Asian fetish are: he takes you to his regular Japanese spot where everyone knows his name.
Konnichiwa, Peter-san.
Konnichiwa, Keiko-san.
He teaches you about your own culture. He loves speaking Japanese wherever just to show off how worldly he is.
Wa means harmony. K, respect. Sei, purity.
And the 3rd and final red flag: he owns a katana.
No one owns a katana.
You have a katana?
Of course.
Josephine, I'm so glad we get to do this. I'm admiring your outfit. I love your t-shirt, I love your hat, I love your fan, I love everything. Thank you for being here, honestly.
Thank you for having me, and thank you for making such a comfortable setting where I can be myself.
Honestly, I'm only in New Filmmakers because they allow me to be myself, and that is what we're all about. And honestly, I just want to say thank you so much for making your film, because you know it really was a brilliant film. Great comedy, great actors, and I was in the audience when your film was being played, and people were just laughing and loving it, you know. So well done, honestly, because you know that's the reaction you want to hear. For those that in our audience that haven't seen your film yet, tell us a little bit about your story, the film.
So my film is called Wabi Sabi, and it's about an insecure, half Japanese, half white woman who is invited on a first date to a traditional tea ceremony, a traditional Japanese tea ceremony, which if you haven't been is like kimonos, like full out making matcha, and or not making matcha, but like making the tea, and it's a whole very traditional ceremony. And she feels a lot of pressure because she's, you know, the real actress is like 4th generation Japanese American, and she feels she doesn't know that much about her culture. And a white guy is explaining her culture to her. Her best friend says, this is a red flag for a white guy with an Asian fetish, and you should just be careful, you know, because it's a lot of pressure. So, you know, it's really a metaphor for, you know, the flaws inside of ourselves, the you know, how hard we are on ourselves, and about accepting ourselves and our imperfections, that we're even better because of them. All of that and more. I mean, honestly, I got so much from watching your film. There was like so many wonderful layers, and these characters you created, like I literally loved every single character. We all need a friend that also reveals the red flags in people. Like I love her. But anyways, how did you go about developing these characters? Because like I was like, can we have a series? I love these characters. I want more. Oh, I love that.
Like series.
Okay, well, starting with our lead actress, Rachel.
She's great.
She had the initial idea of a guy inviting her to a tea ceremony and not knowing enough about Japanese culture and feeling, you know, embarrassed about that. And I very much was like, Rachel, that's a red flag for a white guy with an Asian fetish. You should be careful. So I came really at the angle of the character of Nina, who plays her best friend, and warning her. And I had seen the stand-up of the comedian Dana Donnelly. I had seen her TikToks, and she's so hilarious. So I really put a piece of my personality in that.
Yeah.
And I could relate a lot to Rachel being half Taiwanese and half white myself.
Yeah.
So of just like feeling in between, feeling I'm not Asian enough, but my mom's an immigrant from Taiwan, and you know, like just like, and I speak a little bit, like, so I could relate to that. So I put that experience in the lead character, but then my own paranoia, own like, you know, anxiety and advice giving into the best friend character.
Yeah.
And then, you know, the date, who we call Peter-san, like he, you know, I feel like there's a little bit of me in it too, because you know, I lived in Shanghai for a year. I was an English teacher there, and I always, when I was living in Asia, felt like, wow, people speak Mandarin better than me. People don't know, like, I'm half Taiwanese. People don't know, like, I was raised around that. So, you know, and when you live abroad and you come back, there's this period where you're like, I do not fit in. I don't fit into my old friends here. I don't like feel in my comfort zone. So a little bit of, you know, the character that we're giving a warning about has like I felt I could relate to him too.
Yeah.
You know, and
yeah, definitely.
yeah, so I think it's a composite of yourself, people you meet, the feeling you have of just not being enough sometimes.
Yeah.
And then of course, there's the character played by Teruko Nagajima, and she's
amazing.
She's so amazing.
Yeah.
So I saw her do a one-woman show called Made in America.
Oh, wow.
And after I saw it, I was like, she just approaches her character with the kindness that is always like well-meaning, you know, always like wanting the best for other people.
Yeah.
And she's really like that as a person, you know. She's just telling her own story in Made in America. She really, you know, tells the ups and downs of her own life of being an immigrant here, living in New York, then coming to LA, and, you know, pursuing being a performer. And then I feel like always approaching everyone she meets with kindness. And I think that it could be really easy for her to treat our main character with like that competitiveness of like different women for the same guy, but it really doesn't come from that. Or like she could feel like not enough, but I feel like she's like so focused on her craft and her, you know, bringing joy to others. I thought that was like I built it really around this person I met, you know.
I love that, and I love that you just like found, you know, one of your actors from TikTok and like the skits, and then obviously you saw a one-woman show. Like I love the combination of how you know kind of brought people together as well. And you know, listen, I said last night, I said you're an expert on cringe comedy mixed with microaggressions and identity and feeling not enough. Like you did so well in just all those different energies, because everybody had this very distinctive kind of, you know, obviously mean in the film, but like, you know, I really felt for the lead of the character, because it's a hard, people don't know unless you're in that experience to know what it feels like to feel not enough of something, and then you get all these other people that just think they know your culture better than than you do, and it's such a weird combination. But you know, you took it from a comedy level, and this easily could have been switched into a drama. You know what I mean? What was the kind of taking it through the comedy lens? What was it about kind of taking it from this sort of genre angle that inspired you to make the film like this?
Well, I feel like I've always leaned into comedy by accident, you know? I feel like when you just sort of don't have a filter, and people always are like surprised by what you say, and then you're like, okay, I guess that's comedy, because I just
You're very entertaining also, Josephine. So
that's very well, you know, so my mother's an immigrant, and she also like has no filter at all. Like I think less of a filter than me, and always surprises me with what she says. And so I feel like I get a lot of comedy from her, and just like I think that comedy is honesty, and I think that it's a kind of honesty that, you know, by using humor, you tell the truth.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
And I also tried to put a lot of genre in this case. I was like, okay, there's going to be like samurai moves and, you know, like anime and like special effects, because I'm like, well, you know, I want to put it all in, like just really like, hey. It
was action-packed.
It's action-packed. Yeah. And I'm like, you know what? If people want me to make a drama, I'm going to find a drama. If people want me to make an action flick, I'm going to try to say,
you doesn't get it all.
Romance a little bit. Like, there's still a cohesive identity story, so it doesn't. But I'm like, I'm going to put a little segment that has action in it. There's romance in it.
It's
everything.
It's everything. And I don't want to reveal the ending, but I you know, the ending just, you know, took us into it. I love the way you ended it with everybody's different stories. Actually, I thought it was really effective. But you got to watch it to know, so I'm not going to mention anything. What's this kind of been like showcasing this with an audience? I mean, it was electrifying last night. How was that experience for you?
Oh my gosh, it was such a great audience. You like, I don't know, it felt really fun to watch it again. You forget things, and you're like, oh, that's pretty. Like just seeing people, the audience, and like the people in the row before me laughing, it just brings such joy to your heart. And you're like, oh, people get me. And you know, especially like different audiences laugh at different things. So it makes you feel just like like all the little inside jokes that you just kind of did, like me and my editor, Jeff Mizushima, who was also a producer on the project. Like we're just in our editing bay at his house back out in Torrance where we shot. We also shot it in his house. The tea room is in his house. And so.
Oh, it's in his house.
Yeah, it's in his
Wow.
house. He had like a little home gym, and we basically had to find the right production designer who would.
Who did a great job, by the way.
Oh,
like,
thank you.
Seriously, the production design was beautiful.
Oh, thank you so much. I mean, she really came up and killed it, and like, she was one of the few willing to set design a tea room in someone's house, because that can be really, that can be really. There's a lot of risk to do that instead of, but like it gave us, it helped us stay within our budget. It helped us to like have access to this set and like be a part of it. One of my first jobs out of undergrad, I went to film school, and then right out of film school, I did an internship, and I was on the art department.
Oh,
and,
really?
Yeah, and so it's just like, for me, it's like a very undervalued, area, and I like feel like if you have the luxury of like building a beautiful set and like putting in the time and investment into it, you have something beautiful to shoot. So that's like my philosophy about it.
That's great advice as
Yeah.
well, actually.
Yeah.
I know, I think, as you said, it's been a few years since, like, you've obviously made a film in this, and I'm already ready for your next film. Like, I'm like, honestly, and you did such a great job, and the characters you developed and the story you developed, like, I really want to see where your imagination takes us next. And so, like, where are we going next? What are your kind of feelings, Josephine, like where you want to take us next as far as the film is concerned?
I mean, I feel like I really want to turn this into a feature film. I mean, I feel that there's an avenue where this could be a TV series.
Yeah.
I had written on a show called Dollface, and I've written on a show called First Wives Club. And I think that this was an evolution of that. Like, I feel like coming off that, it feels a little bit like a sitcom, like a half-hour series. And I would love to see the characters in that way. I'd love to make an Asian, like my version of Girls, like an Asian American Girls.
Yeah.
But I also could see a spin-off in a way of making my first independent feature. So I kind of like have a two-prong approach for it. Yeah. But kind of in a way that it's like almost inspired by this. Like, this could be like a cousin of that.
Yeah.
I'm a huge fan of, obviously, like Kill Bill, and then Kill Bill was inspired by this 1970s samurai film called Lady Snowblood. And so for me, like, Lady Snowblood really inspired this in some ways, along with my like love from the shows I've been in, movies the shows that I was on, but then the movies I loved back in the day, like Clueless, or like
film,
like the 90s buddy girl comedies too. So that had sort of this inspiration of action from that, and 90s buddies like comedies, also like oh my gosh.
But those films, though, I can see whether you go as a TV series or independent. I know that the characters you created are so strong. Like I was saying, I was like, oh my goodness, I want to see more, But I mean, see where you can develop the story. So it's all there, Josephine. That's the really good thing. Just lastly, piece of advice. What kind of advice would you give to any filmmaker out there that wants to tell their story, follow in the footsteps of releasing art, because it's such a big decision to put yourself out there with your film? Any things that you go by as an artist?
Yeah, I feel like, if you really have a vision, and even if people, don't support it at first, you really have to believe in yourself first, and you really have to stick to it and keep putting it out there. Like, one thing is, actually, I got this advice from hearing Tyler, the Creator, talk about when he puts out a song, he's gonna promote his song, and he is going, you did so much hard work to make this thing, like, celebrate that. Like
Yes.
put it out there. Like
Yeah.
like remember that you know, make the thing, be proud of making the thing, believe in yourself, like stick to your vision. You're gonna have naysayers, you're gonna have people who are like that, not that into it.
Yeah.
But like when you really know something in your heart is
Yeah.
good and says something, like I would say like, you know, like stick to it.
Yeah.
Like look at what Sean Baker did with the Nora. Like
Yeah, exactly.
stick to it.
Stick to the idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Get
Yeah,
butts in
definitely.
seats. Like believe in yourself. Have a little bit of good delusion. Good delusion.
Oh, good delusion. We don't get that very often. I mean, I think it's my delusion. I'm even in America. So yeah. So honestly, listen. Well done, Josephine. Thank you for bringing your film for us. We're ready for your next. But welcome to the new Filmmakers LA family. Just keep making more movies for us, okay?
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me here,
Thank you
Danny.
very
and,
much.
and New Filmmakers LA, you rock. So.
Thank you. So do you. We can't do it without you, Josephine and Boyd. Thank you very much.